If you wanted to build a life in the Texas Concho Valley in the late 1800s, you had to fight the land itself. The environment was brutally dry, and survival meant maintaining a constant defense against the harsh elements and indigenous Comanche resistance. It took a specific kind of pioneer to hold ground out here. Isaac Ike Mullins was a veteran of long-distance cattle drives to California and a former captain of a Texas Ranger Company. Mullins anchored his settlement by donating his own property to build the exact structures a frontier community needs to survive: a cemetery and a school. Slowly, an informal settlement, originally named Mullins, began to physically cluster around those landmarks. Settlers built their homes close to the schoolhouse and the graves of their family members. Establishing a permanent foothold required planting institutions that would keep people tied to a single spot. By the 1920s, a rural settlement needed a federal post office. That was the only way to officially appear on government maps and attract commercial investment. But when the locals submitted their application, the U.S. Postal Service rejected it. Another Texas settlement named Mullen was already operating in Mills County. Without a unique, approved name, the town would lose its chance at a post office, guaranteeing its gradual economic and legal erasure. A pioneer outpost that had survived Comanche raids and Texas droughts was suddenly facing destruction because of a bureaucratic technicality. In 1926, the town scrambled for a replacement. The local mayor walked into the local grocery store and asked resident Sue Rister for any suggestions. Scanning the shelves, Rister spotted a jar of mayonnaise produced by Armour Company. The brand printed across the label was Veribest, spelled Veribest. She suggested it, and the town adopted it. The locals submitted the new paperwork, and the federal government immediately approved the post office under the name Veribest. A settlement originally founded by a decorated Texas Ranger captain secured its permanent legal identity from a commercial condiment jar. Throughout the 1930s and 40s, Veribest ballooned to 1,000 residents, supported by massive agricultural yields, 2 factories, and 5 major businesses. Then the United States entered World War II, and the national economy abruptly shifted focus toward urban-based industrial manufacturing. This line graph shows exactly how fast that transition happened. Veribest population plateaued near 1,000, and then plummeted. Residents left the rural farmlands for lucrative wartime jobs in larger cities, dropping the local population down to just 40 people by 1949. In less than a single generation, global economic forces completely hollowed out a thriving agricultural center. By 1949, Veribest was a phantom town. 40 people lived among abandoned storefronts and empty factory floors. During the mid-20th century, hundreds of Texas boomtowns experienced this exact demographic collapse and quietly vanished from the map. Veribest survived because one institution refused to close its doors. The public school system, operating on the land Isaac Mullins donated in the 1800s, kept running. When commercial retail evaporates and factories close, an active school can still bind families together and keep a community legally and socially alive. This map shows the geography of the modern Veribest Independent School District. That tiny dot is the 40-person town core. The sprawling boundary around it covers 124 square miles, actively serving families scattered across eastern Tom Green County. The district pulls students in with consistently high academic ratings and a deep-rooted tradition in six-man football. It operates as the primary social center for the entire region. In 2022, local voters approved a $15.5 million bond for facility upgrades. That is a massive, quantifiable investment from the surrounding population to ensure the school stays open. Rural survival does not require peak populations or massive factories. It requires enduring community institutions to hold the map together.